Hi all, I'm Lakshman. As a part of Angular Best Practice series, today we are going to not see a specific topics, we are going to see a mix of tips and tricks in our Angular application. The things we will be seeing is there was no prerequisites, the prerequisites pretty much same Node, Angular, and our own Visual Studio Code editor. So we'll be directly moving into the tips and tricks where what are all the things will be which is required on developing Angular application and what are all things we need to be considered on Angular application. We are going to provide some not a huge bunch of tips. I have some pretty much 5 to 4 kind of tips which has been very helpful while developing our Angular application. So without wasting any time, let's get started. This is our Angular best practice application where we use to for our demo purposes. The first tip is if you are going to run your application on production level or any local level and you want to have a stabilized packages which is for your development of link an application, the first thing you need to consider is having a stable version instead of an upgraded version. If you see my application here, every dependencies and dev dependencies are used with a tilde symbol instead of a cap. The cap indicates whenever there was a new update is available, it can be get upgraded. And if there was no tilde option over there, it's specified with that same version. And with the tilde option here, it stabilizes the UID version, which indicates that when this package is compatible when it is going to install, and if it seems to be that this package will be working totally fine for me for this application on the production stage, all the environments, this helps us to stabilize our application where all the dependencies while developing the application and deploying the application are remains same. This is the first tip you need to consider. Tip number 2. Whenever an application is getting constrained on whether it is vulnerable or not, you need to always check for npm audit. When there was any issues with the package you are using, it is like a periodic check. You need to do it every month once. So you can say that when this version is got deprecated or it is been removed from the npm registry or those kind of stuff, you can use npm audit every month once so that we could solve all the dependencies available in the our application packages, where you could see there was 391 vulnerabilities in this. So if you want to fix it, npm audit you can fix. If you click it will fix all the vulnerabilities and it will solve our package dependencies where the vulnerabilities will be get eliminated. This is the second tip where this is a routine check. You can do it in on weekly basis or monthly basis. What I could prefer is if you are running application mission critical application, I prefer you to check this npm audit each and every week once, at least once, so we can make sure that our application is not break or not exposed some vulnerabilities so we can get in track of this application as going forward. So this will start initiating and it will fix all my bugs and vulnerabilities. If there was some vulnerabilities which is required some humans, which is some physical in-person's review, it will recommend to you. And if it's some critical base application changes, I recommend you to commit the code way before checking the npm fix -force. There was an option called npm audit fix -force, which forces everything to be done. With the normal fix option, it fix only which can be a low rated or which doesn't affect your code, which means if there was an update on RxJS or any vulnerabilities on Firebase, on npm block UI or any Jasmine node, those kind of stuff, it will be done. But for some kind of developments like Angular dev kit, it is a major update where we need to check, force it to update it, or we need to update it manually, because vulnerabilities can be exposed. And if this source code is available on a Git, the Git provides an automated bot notification so that we can diagnose which can be is a mission critical and which is not. So this is the second tip. Let's move to the next step. Tip number 3. Always aware of your bundle size. This indicates you need to always aware of in the bundle size what the dist file comes out of your application. It should be a minimum of 0.05 MB to the minimum binding of 2 MB, and the maximum it needs to be error of 5 MB. What this indicates is this is a single page application where all its which is images or any data which has to be less than 0.5 MB. If you see my item over here, you can see this is about 936 KB, which means it's way below than our actual 0.5 MB. Okay, because this as a single page application, it renders a lot of data actually, which is via API, via other CSS or any other open some URLs from the libraries directly via some embedded URLs. So it extracts a lot of data. So it accumulates lot of network utilization, those kind of stuff. As our package also has to be so minimal so that it loads the images, loads the data faster, and it's more easy and packageable while scaling your application. For instance, if you want to put this Angular application into some container basis, it will be scaling up faster than what you actually expect. So you always should keep an eye on your package bundle, how much its size it is. If it is more than 2 MB or 5 MB, you need to check out what's actually the problem with the disk. Do you adding any other third parties JS files into our disk file applications, or you having lot of images or videos, those kind of stuff inside it? If that's what your case, you could use some kind of cloud vendors of storing those images, storing those videos, such as in Azure you can use storage account, and if it is in AWS you can use S3 buckets or another kind of stuff. So keep an eye on your list file. That's a tip number 3. Tip number 4. This implies how to manage or how to input our dependencies via alias name. When you check our application apps, all other kind of stuffs on modules on other kind of bases, you may have a large amount of dot slash those kind of stuff. This dot slash and others. We see some of the components here and some of the informations here. All these have some options called at. How to create some at alias names in our for our existing modules. One such module is core and share, which will be using across multiple components or multiple modules. To create that alias name, where you need to go is the file name is tsconfig.base.json. Here the base URL is dot slash, which is the root URL, where you need to add an option called path. Inside the path, I will specify the name called at4, which indicates my core folder, and what I'm going to specify is source slash app slash 4. So now it checks the root path directory for the compilation and checks for the path, and this is my core path. Wherever there was a dot slash for the core, I could change those dot slash into core. Let's check this out. So this is the core. I'm going to remove this and I put this place as at. So I need to specify slash start. And you can see that it checks out my model and it goes there. As same as the core model, I'm going to change it for my shared model at shared slash start c slash app slash core slash start shared slash start at. So it's pointing to my current module. So whenever you having a lot of dot slash options, let us see, do you have anything dot slash inside my app. You can see that there was a environment it is available. So what we could do is we could just go on comma double quotation at environment slash star and source slash app source slash environment slash environment slash star. This indicates that now what I could do is I could just take this at and put the @ symbol environments dot environment. So because it is in as now, like this, we can solve a lot of alias name dependencies inside our Angular application. So this will be a major options where we could have some custom names or custom options for on the path, where on a build also it will directly map into the same paths on build options also, which helps on our development of environments on developing to avoid lot of dot slashes in our models and components. This is the tip number 4. Let's move on to the next one. Tip number 5. Always null check on string interpolation, which indicates that whenever you are working with object where the values of its objects may be available or the item is even not available, you always require to have a null check for each and every string interpolation option, which helps you while deploying, and even whenever there was some error on rendering the web app, the corresponding next functionality it won't work. So whenever there was a using chance of getting the item or objects null, kindly use the string interpolation options meanwhile, so which helps you to display the data, or if the data is not if data is null, it will display empty. If it is available, it will show the value. This is the method which we need to follow whenever you are displaying some informations or a property of a object in HTML. This is the tip number 5. I hope you have seen some of the tips and tricks in the Angular application for development as well as for the deployment options and what other things you need to consider. If you like these kind of videos and these tips and trick kind of stuff, kindly give a thumbs up to this video and share with your friends who is working with Angular. And kindly subscribe to the channel, so we'll be posting up each and every week a new video. So until then, I am Lakshman. Peace out.